for this video, we're going to go through some problems for your 1.3.2 worksheet. And I'm going to start with number 3. So this one says Rachel owes her brother $20, so she's $20 in debt. She makes $7 per hour at her job. How many hours will she need to work to be able to pay her brother back? So the first thing that I want to do is I want to write an equation to represent this scenario, and then I will solve it. So I want to actually write the equation first, and then I will use that equation to find the answer. So it says that Rachel owes her brother $20, so that she's $20 in debt. And this is important because in debt or owing someone money means that you have negative money. So she has negative $20. That is what she is starting with. So she has negative $20. That's her start. Remember, our template is start plus or minus a change equals a total, if that helps you. So she's starting with negative $20 because she owes her brother. And then she's going to make $7 per hour at her job. And we want to know how many hours will it take for her to owe her brother. So the way that this is changing is she's making $7 per hour at her job. So she's going to add $7 per hour for her job. And then if we're just paying the brother back, that's not asking if we're going to have any extra money. It's just saying when will we have enough money to pay the brother back. So that means that our total is going to be 0. So we just want to even it out. How much am I going to have to work to pay my brother? You could also write it like this, where you are going to make $7 per hour and that needs to equal the $20 you owe. It doesn't follow the template, but it works the exact same way. So either one of these, when we start solving, for this one, I'm going to add 20 to both sides. And I get 7h equals 20. And then I will use my calculator to do 20 divided by 7. And that gives me a crazy decimal, so 2.86. So our hours is 2.86. Well, if you have a job or if you know anything about working, you can't work 2.86 hours. They don't let you work by the minute or second at most jobs or any job that I know of. So we're going to have to round up. We're going to need more money than that to be able to pay the brother back and then have an even amount. So if we round this up, then we're going to say that we need to work 3 hours or more. So we want to round up in this context because we need to have enough money to pay the brother back, and then we'll have a little bit of extra. In some contexts, it makes sense to round down. So let's say it was something like you only had $20 to spend, and this is how many candy bars or whatever you could buy with your money. Well, in that case, you can't round up because then you are spending more money than you have, and that doesn't make sense in the context. So the whole difficulty, the whole thing with this topic is within the context, does this make sense, and what would the number need to be? So what does the math need to be to make it make sense? And in this case, we would round up. If you have a limit, you might need to round down. So I also want to go through number 10, which says a busing company charges a rental fee of $75 plus an additional $2.50 per mile for each reservation. If you are planning to rent the bus to drive approximately 130 miles, what will the cost be? And so for this, if we follow the start, change, total template, then we are starting with 75, and then it's an additional $2.50 per mile. And then it is not equal to 130. So it says that we're driving 130 miles. That's not what we're equal to. So you have to make sure that you're actually looking at what each of these pieces means in our story, in our template. In this case, we're trying to find the total cost, but we don't yet know it. So I'm going to have this equal to T, which is the total cost. From there, then I know that I'm driving 130 miles. Well, miles should be plugged in for M. So if I'm driving 130 miles, I need to plug that in here to find my total cost. So I would have 75 plus the 250 per mile, and that is going to equal my total cost. So then I can type like all of that in the calculator. Just pull this so you can see both. So you can do 75 plus the 250 times 130, and we get 400. So 400 equals T. Well, now I need to go back and actually answer the question like I did with this one. You wouldn't tell me that 400 equals T. You need to tell me what that means. So we're going to say our cost would be $400. So if I'm driving 130 miles, then the cost I can guesstimate to be $400. So as you're doing these problems, just keep in mind you need to really think about what makes sense in context, especially if you get a decimal. Should you round up? Should you round down? And then also, where do the numbers actually fit in? So where would you actually put these numbers to make this make sense? I hope this helped. You can go ahead and finish the rest of the worksheet to get some practice with 132.